welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This week I have pens, and I want to talk about Fountain Pen Day. So from left to right, I have my Aihao with some complicated number in its name. I have an interesting pen. This is a RotRing Core. I'll get into that in a little bit when I pull up the pen. Aurora DuoCart, Omas Ogiva, the Senator with the interesting blind cap, Aurora 88, Aurora 88, Pilot Custom 823, Platinum 3776, and a Lamy 2000. So let's get into a writing sample with each of these. So I dialed down the gain on the microphone a little bit. I'm hoping I will sound better and will pick up less background noise, less noise of me breathing, and so on. Today is November 10th. For those of you who do not know, tomorrow is Veterans Day, which I believe is observed quite widely across the world. In North Dakota, that's actually Veterans Day is a day off from school, but because it's a Friday, we observe it on the 10th, and of course we do a special Veterans Day program at the school. Invite local veterans to the program, and then they're invited to stay for lunch. So this is an Aihao. I'm going to go with 20253, but I don't really know. This is a pen I first saw with JPL's channel. I think last week I pointed you to the link. What was the number? 20253. This is a lower cost pen. It's well, it looks like a disposable pen. It feels like a disposable pen. What's interesting, it comes with cartridges, which is fine, but also came with a converter, which I just wanted to try out the cartridge first and see what I thought of the color. I'm gonna I'll load it up with ink from a bottle and see what I think. Not a bad looking pen, especially for what it is. Maybe not the most exciting one you're going to see here, but not bad. Now this is an interesting one. I had vowed I'm not going to buy any new fountain pens. And I seem to be breaking that, giving up, I think, for now. I like the idea of a Nakaya, but at the same time I know I know for a fact that the last time I saved up enough money I couldn't build up the nerve to buy it. So I think that's where I'm at. This is a RotRing Core. Now, Rot means red in German. Ring, I was going to look this up and I forgot, but golly, that looks like a red ring there. And Core, it's just meant to be a very futuristic looking pen. Until I get around to the review, I would point you to ChrisRap52, has 2 videos on this pen. I don't think he has one this color. His are more lightsabery. It's kind of interesting. I have a converter in it, but it's some features definitely worth discussing when we get around to doing the video. And I hate to say this, but I'd say that if you have a converter in it, the ink window is basically useless. Now, kind of interesting, I'd call that a broad nib. Let's see, yeah. But as you can see on the nib, it says extra large. So we'll go with extra large. And the ink is this nice sample I bought. Now I want a whole bottle. It's Robert Oster Summer Storm. So before the weather gets too cold, because that is a thing here in North Dakota, I'm probably going to order a bottle of this. I just like that gray. And it's a color that very evocative of North Dakota also, because we get summers and storms here. That made no sense. Aurora DuoCart I have reviewed previously. I like the pen a lot. I still do. It's very reminiscent of the older Aurora 88s, and actually it was released kind of as a lower cost alternative for students to the Aurora 88 at the time. Hooded nib. This would have been a steel nib versus a gold nib on the Aurora 88. But just a nice pen. Oh, and it was a cartridge converter pen. I guess it was just sold. DuoCart means dual cartridge. I guess it was sold as a mostly for cartridges, and it could hold 2 cartridges at a time or something like that. So very nice pen. It was sold in vintage packaging at first. I was lucky enough to get that. Now, of course, you have to buy it in the regular modern packaging, unless you're lucky. But nice pen. This is another nice pen. I was once loaned one to review, and I liked it so much I ended up buying one of my own. I wasn't a fan of the color, but in the meantime, Omas had gone out of business, so I was lucky to find this at a cost I could afford. So this is an Omas Ogiva. Now, it's an extra flessibile nib, so you can't see my seat is diagonal to this table. So I've repositioned myself so I don't ruin the nib, because you have to put this even. I'm writing with a medium extra flessibile nib, and my ink is Kyo-iro, which, by the way, is a very interesting ink. It looks nothing like the bottle, but I kind of like this one. It usually looks lighter than this on other paper, but this paper seems to make my inks look darker. I love the looks of the summer storm on this paper. But yeah, an extra flessibile nib, kind of a neat nib. And a very nice pen. Kind of sad about Omas, but these things happen. This is a Senator. I don't know the model number. I think I have mentioned before I'm having trouble figuring out models of most Senators. I just can't find information about it. What's interesting is it's quite the blind cap on this pen that just kind of covers the whole thing. So a little odd. So for now, I'll just call it Senator. And the ink in it is a very lovely Montegrappa. Bordeaux. In fact, this week I've been correcting most of my tests and papers and such with this pen. So, nice pen. I like the Senator. I think I like my other Senator better, the one that's all plastic. This blind cap here is metal, which just feels cold, but it's covered with some kind of like foam stuff. I don't know. Now, I mentioned Aurora 88 twice. I ended up buying a second one. So I did a review a while back of the vintage Aurora 88. This is not the one I used in the review. This is a different one. The one I used in the review, which I'll pull up next. Well, I'll pull up now. What the heck. Just so you can see. The one I used in the review is the one toward the bottom of your screen. You can see that the ebonite turning knob is faded. So it's been in the sun. This one, the one with the faded turning knob, I believe is got some silver on it. This one that's not faded is Nic Argenta, which is an alloy used by Aurora. The other one has a more flexible nib, which you'll see in a minute. Just to scare all my French viewers, I'm so tempted to call this J. Herbin ink, but I won't. I'll be kind. And the ink is Bleu Myosotis, which is a fancy way of saying forget-me-not, which is a flower. If you've ever seen the bottle, it's a heart-shaped bottle. This isn't one of my girthiest pens. I couldn't get this pen into the bottle. I had to pour it out into I have a little funnel-y thing that I had to pour it into. This one is inked with Aurora Black. In fact, my Lamy 2000 went empty this weekend, so I just thought, you know, I'm going to give it a break and use this as my daily writer for a while. And you might be saying, wait, I thought you adopted Lamy Black as your favorite black? I did. But, fun fact, the Aurora DuoCart came with a small bottle of black ink, which I'm going to assume was Aurora Black. I don't really know what else it would be. So, make of that what you will. Now, kind of interesting, I am told that on these piston filling knobs, there was some color coding based on what was put in the end. This one is black with a white center. This one is all black. Apparently means something about the type of nib, but I have not found a consistent explanation of what that is. All right, this week I re-reviewed the Pilot Custom 823. This is originally was purchased as a nice pen and to be my daily writer because it is a good pen. Lamy 2000 kind of took over that role, but in the summer I'll ink this guy up. Also kind of wild, I realized when I did the re-review, last time I reviewed it was 2014, and fun fact, I've had this pen for about 5 years. So, yeah, this is a pen that's lasted, and I am told that there are some cracking issues. I believe it's around here, although I don't know. I have not had them. I am told that part of it comes from opening the pen up yourself, which I've never done, so maybe that's why, but I do not know that for a fact, so I'm just repeating what I've heard. So this ink is Quizzy Iron Gall Gold, which goes on, as you see here, but dries to a very dark color. If you saw the page where I did the review earlier in the week, you'd see now it's basically black. Let's see. Oh, I have it down here. So let me just show you real quick as a diversion from what I'm supposed to be talking about. So you can see it's basically almost black now. All right. This is my Platinum 3776 with the koi finish. Getting low. I'm pretty sure it won't be here next week. And I'll have to bring out one of the other Platinums to play. This one's pretty, but I can't use it all the time. I have too many other pens I want to write with also. Broad nib, and of course the ink is Sailor, Jentle, Grenade. Which when I tried to look up the French version of that online, I got grenade, as in bang, but it also has something to do with pomegranate, so we'll go with that version. Although the other one might be more exciting. And then last but not least, Lamy 2000. But I said I'm giving my daily writer, Lamy 2000, some time off. This is its brother with the broad nib. Which is an interesting nib with a very stub-like character. This one is inked up with Noodlers, and it just really shows this ink off beautifully. In fact, it shows just about every ink off beautifully. Black Swan in Australian Rose, which I'm told, this is the original formulation. Oops, and you didn't see any of that. I really apologize. I'm told this is the original formulation of Noodler's Black Swan and Australian Rose. I bought the bottle before the surprising change. I did have a bottle of the newer formulation when the dyes changed and took Noodlers by surprise. It was too purple for my taste. It wasn't what I liked. I have another bottle now that they say that they've gone back to the old formulation. When this runs dry, I guess I'll find out. So those are the pens that I have in use this week. Now, my other excitement that I just double checking my time because this camera will time out. My other excitement this week has been Fountain Pen Day. Now that was last Friday, November 3rd. I gave away a whole bunch of Jinhao 992s, but they didn't arrive till Monday, so it was on Monday. No, it was on Tuesday I actually gave them away to students. And that's been, shall we say, a varying success. One thing I know with students is they don't know how to treat a writing instrument gently, and so they're surprised when the inside of the cap gets all inky. Well, yeah, if you're used to a pen like a ballpoint, yeah, I have a ballpoint here in my pen case. If you're used to a ballpoint that you can just drop all over the place without it splashing, fountain pen is a totally different animal. And I do have a 350 milliliter bottle of Pilot Black, so keeping them. If these pens last, anybody who wants to refill them, I'm not out very much. And I just need to thank Jerry for the donation of some of those Jinhao 992s. I'm not sure if I will do it again next year. I'm kind of disappointed with how some people handled those pens. So I might look for, if I do something like this again, I may look for a more straightforward disposable pen like this that's less likely to have issues. Probably not that exact model, but something like that. Maybe with older students, give them something nicer. I don't know, but yeah, that's just one of the things when you're dealing with kids. That surprise. So that's where I'm at with fountain pen today. But I do enjoy sharing this. I have some students have discovered that I do have a YouTube channel. So hi, They always say, well, why can't we watch them in class? And I always say, well, I might swear too much, so I guess I better swear so I can't show this one in class. Darn! So, yeah, now I can't show it in class. But seriously, I teach science, and I'm not going to, unless I make a video that's actually on the topic we're learning, I'm not wasting class time on stuff like this. So, yeah, that's the real reason. I do swear once in a while, though. Yeah. Anyway, change the topic. So, that's my pens in use. I hope that was interesting. And you can expect in the coming months to see a few more revisits to old pens that I reviewed long in the past and still have. A lot of the pens I would have reviewed in the past are gone. I gave them away, or a couple of them were sold, some were traded. They're gone. So it'll give you a chance to see what I have kept over the years and what I have gotten rid of. So look forward to that. So I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.